Next news, breaking news.
Democrats thought they could threaten Florida and scare Republicans into backing down. Instead, they got laughed out of the room. Hakeem Jeffries tried to sound tough, promising consequences if Florida redraws its maps, but Governor Ron DeSantis didn't blink. He threw the doors open, invited Jeffries down, offered him a room at the governor's mansion, and practically begged him to campaign across the state. That's not fear, that's confidence. And once you see why Florida Republicans believe they have every right to fight back after what Democrats just did in Virginia, you'll understand why this showdown could decide control of Congress. This matters to every American who is sick of watching Democrats change the rules, grab power, and then scream when Republicans finally answer back. What happens in Florida will not stay in Florida. Republicans are looking at a special session and maps that could add as many as 5 GOP seats. That means more America First votes in Congress, more support for President Trump's agenda, and less room for the radical left to sabotage border security, energy independence, and, most importantly, election integrity. And look at the hypocrisy. Democrats in Virginia pushed through what conservatives are calling a brutal 10-to-1 map designed to crush Republican representation. They celebrate that as democracy. Barack Obama praises it. The media shrugs. But the second Florida says it may respond with strength, suddenly Hakeem Jeffries is out there issuing threats like a street corner boss. This is the game, plain and simple. Democrats can play hardball, but Republicans are supposed to play dead. Well, DeSantis just made it clear that in Florida, that game is over. And while we're talking about fighting back instead of surrendering, let me share something personal that changed life in my family. For years, my wife battled chronic pain and anxiety from her diagnosis. It meant endless doctor's visits, treatments that didn't help. And watching her struggle every single day, it broke my heart. Then Jonathan Otto introduced us to red light therapy, and everything changed. Her pain vanished, her anxiety lifted, and now she's sleeping soundly, full of energy and life again. My own recovery and vitality are better than guys half my age. It's been truly life-changing for us. The science is real, too, backed by NASA research, FDA-cleared technology. Studies show rapid pain relief and better recovery. If you want to try it for yourself, go to myredlight.com. Use NNN25 for 25% off individual items or NNN30 for 30% off bundles. You won't regret it. Now back to the political fight Democrats started and Florida Republicans look ready to finish. See, here's the part the corporate media does not want to say out loud. Jeffries did not attack Florida because he feels strong. He attacked Florida because he knows Republicans have a real opening. If Virginia can be twisted into a 10 Democrat, 1 Republican advantage, then Florida can absolutely answer with maps that reflect its deep red reality. And that's why DeSantis did something brilliant. He turned Jeffries' threat into a dare. And in one sense, it's exposed the panic underneath all that Democrat swagger. Here it is. Ron DeSantis is begging Hakeem Jeffries to come campaign in Florida after Jeffries threatened the state for redistricting. Listen to DeSantis.
This guy Jeffries popping off in Washington about Florida. He wants to be Speaker of the House, and he's kind of like, more liberal than Pelosi and all this other stuff from New York City. I just want to know, Florida can't do, we're going to go after Florida. Please be my guest. I will pay for you to come down to Florida and campaign. I'll put you up in the Florida governor's mansion. We'll take you fishing. We'll do all this stuff. There's nothing that could be better for Republicans in Florida than to see Hakeem Jeffries, everywhere around this state. Voters will not like what they see. They will not want that type of ideology. And so the door is open. The invitation's out there. I don't think there'd be anything better for the Republican Party of Florida but to have Jeffries there. Now, I kind of feel bad for the guy because he's as left as they come. He's always going left. And yet the far left hates him. They call him a dollar store Obama. They call him AIPAC Shakur, all these different derogatory names that they do. And so he's tried to ingratiate himself with there, but they're just not drinking the Kool-Aid, and so they give him a hard time. So I kind of feel bad for that. But please be my guest to come down in Florida. We would love to have you. Any questions?
DeSantis laughing off his threat. rolled out the red carpet. Here's Jeffries, though. This is what he was referring to. Hakeem Jeffries humiliates himself while trying to act tough, threatening Republicans.
Sorry.
Our message to Florida Republicans is F around and find out. If they go down the road of a DeSantis dummy mander, the Florida Republicans are going to find themselves in the same situation as Texas Republicans, who are on the run right now. And under no circumstances are Texas Republicans picking up 5 seats. They'll be fortunate if they get 2 or 3. While in California, we are going to get all 5. The Republicans are dummy mandering their way into the minority before a single vote is cast, because they started this war and we're going to finish it.
But are you? Jeffries talking big in Washington. Next, the focus shifts to why Florida Republicans say they need to answer with new maps after Democrats forced through a 10-1 advantage. Florida Republicans have a clear path to counter Democrat power grabs in Virginia, where Democrats just rammed through a 10D, 1R gerrymandered map.
In Virginia, Democrats used the redistricting process to gain political control of the whole state and, by extension, political control of Congress. Here's what happened. Virginians voted 51-48 to change the state's electoral map. That's a narrow win, but it has wide implications. At the moment, Virginia has 6 Democrats and 5 Republicans in the House. The new map will make it 10 Democrats to 1 Republican. Now, the vote was advertised as a measure to restore fairness. That is nonsense. It does anything but. 48% of Virginia voters have been essentially disenfranchised. And that's fair? At the midterms, the gerrymandered Virginia vote will be enough to swing the House to the Democrats. Hakeem Jeffries will be the Speaker. Barack Obama approves. On X, he wrote, "Thanks for showing us what it looks like to stand up for democracy." This comes days after Obama held a sing-along with the socialist New York mayor, Zohran Mamdani. The former president is beginning to take a more active role in the midterms. And why not? The left thinks that Trump hatred is their ticket to power. Not so fast. On Monday, oral arguments begin before the Virginia State Supreme Court. There are numerous lawsuits to get the new redistricting map thrown out. The court will have to consider if indeed the new map restores fairness. Hard to see how such a narrow 51-48 vote with such profound consequences could be considered fair or legitimate. It is not. It is a political coup based on TDS, Trump derangement syndrome.
And of course, President Trump called that entire thing rigged. Go back and look at our report on it. 35,000 ballots just showing up on cue. See, the big reveal is this. Ron DeSantis is not merely mocking Hakeem Jeffries. He's signaling that Florida Republicans believe the voters are with them, and that every minute Jeffries spends in the Sunshine State helps the GOP. DeSantis said he would pay for Jeffries to come campaign, put him up in the governor's mansion, even take him fishing, because nothing would be better for Republicans than putting Jeffries' New York City leftism on full display in Florida. See, that's the whole truth in one shot. Democrats think threats can stop a red state response, but Florida is treating Jeffries like a campaign asset for the right. That's not defensive politics. That's a full spectrum counterattack. So let's call this exactly what it is. Democrats opened the redistricting war, bragged about it, cheered it in Virginia. They melted down the instant Florida prepared to answer. Hakeem Jeffries tried to intimidate Republicans with thug talk. Ron DeSantis answered with a smile and an invitation, in total confidence that Florida voters will reject the left's agenda all over again. And that's what leadership looks like. That's what fighting back looks like. And under President Trump, conservatives are done apologizing for using power when voters give it to them. If you agree Florida should get it done and add those Republican seats, share this video right now, leave a comment, and subscribe. Yes or no? Do you think Hakeem Jeffries should take DeSantis up on that invitation and campaign in Florida? Make sure you text raw feed to 844-840-4963 to beat the algorithm and get direct messages from me straight to your phone. If you haven't done so yet, check out the Next News merch shelf below this video. Stay bold, stay loud, and keep standing up for America first.
The system controls information. Information control is power.
They don't want you to see this.
The truth only survives together. They don't want this shared. Share this now.